for Irwin. Come on. Make some noise.
Well, Vancouver, it's so good to see you. My heart goes out every time I'm here in your beautiful town, and everyone's always so kind to me. Give yourselves a big hand, folks. Give yourselves a big applause. You're a dandy group of people, and I love you all. This morning I was taking a little walk out and went to one of these Starbucks restaurants. This morning. I heard two things that don't make sense together. Coffee and $6.84. I said to the lady, did I break a window? Do I have a sign on my back that says bend me over the counter? How many of these Starbucks restaurants are there anyway? I gave up counting.
1 million.
There must have been that many, sir. Can you imagine if I was talking like that all night? Right myself. I was this morning. I was flipping through the channels and it made me crazy. I was watching this Who Wants to Be a Millionaire thing. Is a rerun, but how can they take so long to answer the simplest question in the world? Meredith's up there like, what is the primary ingredient in toast? Is it A, carbon, B, yeast, C, bread, or D, jam? The guy's thinking about it. He's like, oh man, well, I know it's not jam, obviously, because you put jam on toast. Meredith, I was thinking, I remember when I was a kid, get up in the morning and we'd put dried cereal in a bowl, and then we'd put sugar on that and we'd pour milk on over that and start to eat that with a spoon. And while we were doing that, my mother would make toast. So I'd like to call my mother. Well, Mrs. Johnson, we have your son on the line here with a chance to win $100. Provided this isn't something genetic we're dealing with. I'm an absent-minded person too, folks. You'll probably find that out as the show goes along. I just kind of drift away from one topic to another sometimes, and I don't mean to, but it happens. It's a genetic thing. I was reading up on it. There's actually an absent-minded gene. How does that even get passed on? All right, they're procreating. Okay, I'll be over right away then. In my driver's license picture, I could show it to you. I'm looking behind me. I shouldn't even be allowed to drive. That's how absent. I wander into the lane. I'm constantly with people calling me an asshole, an idiot. They're going way faster than I am. I'm never going to see these people again in my life. I don't care. But you guys going to call me a jerk, or what am I going to take it to heart and roll down the window of the car? You don't know me as a whole person. Other qualities besides being a bad driver. Oh, sorry. I cab it. I called today, McClure's, that's what the lady said. I said, yeah, the name's Barker, I'm at Century Plaza. The lady goes, did you want a cab? No, I'm just letting you know where I am, that's all. I assume that you keep tabs on people when they're visiting in town, so yeah, that's where if I go somewhere else, should I call, or of course I want a cab. Why else do people call you? Now I'm curious, what are you wearing? All I really want to know is, when is my cab coming? She tells me he'll be there shortly. That's not gonna, can you give me a better idea? She goes, he won't be long. That's what shortly means. Or the worst is when they go, he'll be there in no time. I'm no physicist, but logically, either he's already there or he's never coming, right? Let me know and I'll get on with my day. It's the absent-minded. It runs in the family, the absent-mindedness. My cousin actually suffers from attention deficit disorder, and he's asked me if I'd mention this at my show, so I'm going to do it now before I forget. But, he's been trying to raise awareness by wandering across Canada. So please, kick in. Huh? He's in Michigan working at a dairy farm. So he needs help. I don't know what, painting his barn, I guess it is, or Bran. It could be Bran. He's dyslexic as well. So I don't want to make fun of dyslexics because I know they get all offended. All right, that's it. Get me a mirror. I'm writing a letter. There is going to be trouble with a capital E when I'm done. My aunt, I found this out, my aunt is a perfect combination of a fatalist and optimist. She fell down the stairs, broke her leg, and just laid there going, am I ever glad that's over with? Like a lot of Canadians, I'm from mixed ancestry. My mom's barbaric, my dad's skittish. So, I don't know what that makes me. Nervous, maybe? I dated a Buddhist woman for a little while, because, hey, you only live once, huh? But try to tell her that. She got me this book on feng shui. I have no idea where to put it in my house. Everywhere I put it, it stuck out like a sore thumb. We broke up. It was a while ago. And you know what? Partly it was her family. Her brother was one of these yoga experts that was just so arrogant. Oh man, I just wanted to punch him in the face when his back was turned. I dated a psychologist for a little while, but that didn't work out. She'd always get mad at me for what I was subconsciously thinking. That's not fair. She's like, get your mind out of the gutter. Like what? I'm rinsing out a vase, you know? My cousin, serious gambling problem, so much so that his wife left him, and he called me up, and he's trying to win her back, and I think that's the important thing. But anyways, happily, I'm married. Or, I'm happily married, sorry. I keep forgetting where the adverb goes. It's I'm happily married. Yeah, my wife would know. It doesn't matter where the adverb goes. Who cares? Hey, don't sweat the small stuff. Hey, that's how to make the marriage work. Don't sweat the small stuff. There's a book out. The publisher wanted to call it "Don't Worry About Little Things," but the author insisted on "Don't Sweat the Small Stuff," and they got in a big argument about it. Their lawyers got involved, and it got really ugly. But eventually, the book got published. It's good. I bought the book at the airport, and then I got on the plane and I spilled coffee on it. You know, I can't win. Life is against me. That's what I think. I bought that book, France for Dummies, because I've always wanted to see Buckingham Palace. My uncle, my wife and I went to my uncle's wedding earlier this week in Victoria. It was his fourth marriage. Hey, can you believe that? It was his fourth. You could tell it was the fourth marriage too, because they wrote their own vows, and it started with look. Let's get one thing straight right now. One of those, if anyone has any reason why this couple should not be joined together, we can't get to everyone, but oh well, that was fine. We took the ferry over. Have you been over? That was a trip and a half, the BC ferries. You get that, welcome aboard BC Ferries. Please enjoy our many amenities. These include elevators, washrooms. Like, who's enjoying the washroom? Get them out of there. Carpeted flooring, padded seats with armrests, heated coffee in decorative mugs, see-through windows, flotation. All right, I get it. Buckle up, we're in for the ride of our lives. Hey, seriously, if you go on the BC ferries, check outside where they have the life rafts. The instructions, It says in case of emergency, step one, this is it says step one, remove handrail. Anyone here have a class 1 welder's license before we plunge to our icy death? Step 2 says raise valise and swing davit outboard. Okay, we're going to need a nautical thesaurus here. Step 4 is like shiver me timbers. Every announcement's in their terms. If the freeboard touches the waterline, please ensure the scuppers are not plugged. Have a safe and enjoyable voyage. They call it a voyage. We're going to Victoria. You know, in 1792, maybe that was a voyage, but no. Voyage? What, we're going to get boarded by pirates? Sorry, hand over your decorative mugs. Often I'm on my way to Victoria. Oh, I'm going to Victoria. I hope I don't get scurvy. The white spot people throw a lemon in my Caesar salad. Ah, well. That's an interesting way to travel. We flew from Toronto, and how come they seem to be very concerned that you pack your own bags? You know, like 3 times this lady asked me if I'd pack my own bag. Did you pack your own bags? I'm like, yeah. She goes, you're the only one that packed your bags? Oh yeah, those bag packing parties of the 80s, you know. Who does that now? Yeah. Try to get someone to come over at 3 in the morning and pack your bags. See how many friends you have left by the end of the summer. Yes, I packed my own bags. I'm the only one. Then she goes, you're aware of all the contents of your bag? And I didn't say anything. She goes, sir, you're aware of all the contents of your bag? Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were drawing a logical conclusion from the first 2 questions. What did you want to know? Was I packing blindfolded? Is that it? I turn my back on my suitcase and empty the contents of my closet willy-nilly and hope enough underwear lands in there for Vancouver. And very rarely surprised when I open my own luggage. Turnips, what the hell? Hey, who packed this? Is that what CSIS found out, that terrorists don't pack their own bags? We could put an end to this if we just get the WestJet lady to put the screws to the check in. Did you pack your own bags? Ah, they got me. 17 months of careful planning down the drain. I have no idea why my terrorist sounds northern Chechen. I subconsciously hate them or something. I don't know what it is. Let's put my bag through the X-ray. The guy's staring away at it, going, "Excuse me, sir, is that an electric razor you have in there?" I said, "Yes, it is." He goes, "All right, you can go." Like it's that easy. Worried about this guy behind me going, "Oh, it's just a bunch of cigars taped to my alarm clock." All right, I'll go on in. It's against the law to say you've got a bomb if you're in the airport. The sign says don't say you've got a bomb. Like, what if a terrorist wants to confess? What? I don't know if this is right. I should probably say, oh, wait a minute. I can't. I'll get in worse trouble. I've got to imply it somehow. How are you today, sir? I'm fine. I'm tickety boom, huh? All right, I'll go on in. Okay. All right. Good luck to all you. How come the pilot feels it's so important that we know his name, huh? Is that your concern when you're getting on a flight? Anyone know the pilot's name? Any idea what? If it's Gerald, I'm not flying. I don't know why. It's always you're having a nap, you get that.
Attention, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking, Captain Richardson.
Oh, if only I had a pen, huh? Put on my list of things I care nothing about. Captain Richardson, is that it? I gotta remember this for what? 3 weeks later, midnight at Burger King. Can I take your order, please? Captain Richardson? Are you moonlighting? It's me, Irwin. Irwin, 14F, Irwin. Memory like a sieve. How come they're so unsure about the altitude? Does that bother any of you when you're flying?
We're currently flying on an altitude of,
Just say a number. It's not like we could verify it. 32,000? Bullshit. That's like 28. 28 at the top. I can. Anyone here have a protractor and a book of logarithms? Put that grade 11 trigonometry to work. You ever wonder whether Pythagoras' next door neighbor used to get mad at him for cutting across the lawn? It's shorter, I can prove it. That's the thing. Yeah, we'll go the long way. I just planted olives there. I'm not playing pool with you and Euclid again either. If you guys want some advice, I don't know if you want advice, but a little while ago I was in Winnipeg and had to do a show in Regina. And I thought it would be kind of neat to take the bus. So my advice to you is don't. Just don't. At one point this lady got sick. She fainted in the aisle. And the bus driver, he pulls over to the side of the road, stops the bus, he looks back and he goes, yeah, is there a doctor on the bus? What, are you kidding? What kind of doctor's going to be on the bus? Get off the highway and start flagging down Jags, nuts. Doctor on the bus. If there's a doctor on the bus, I wouldn't want him anywhere near me, I'll tell you that much. Some creepy guy in the back. Well, I go to the clinic a lot. I've read some pamphlets. Maybe I should have a look at her. Yeah. Just unbutton her shirt, I think. That's what I had this big creepy guy sitting beside me too. It's a true story. And I fell asleep and my head just flopped over and kind of landed right on his shoulder. And I was just out of it. And just all of a sudden, just bang right in the ribs. Boom. The guy looks at me and goes, what are you, a fag? Like that would be my big move, huh? Like I've been plotting this for 6.5 hours. What are you, a fag? I'm just trying to cuddle, buddy. Relax. A little cold in here if you didn't notice. Yeah. Trying to cuddle, the guy gets huffy. You have issues, man. Oh, man. They're the weirdest people, the homophobes. Okay? Everything's gay to them. My neighbor, when I lived in Halifax, my next door neighbor was gay, a great guy, and he had the only reason I knew he was gay was because he had this coming out of the closet party. You ever gone? Go. If you ever get a chance, go. The food is amazing, I'll tell you that much. We had it was fun. I did. I was reluctant. I went though, and it was just the two of us though, you know. So it was awkward, a little awkward. Where do you get a card for coming out of the closet party? That was my big go down to the drugstore and then nothing. Nephew's graduation. That's the closest they had. I got one of those blank cards. There you go. I really have no say in this. You gotta respect the commitments, right? Coming out of the closet party, you can't go back on that, can you? 2 weeks later, having to going back in party. Late nights are killing me. There's way more involved in this than I realized, okay? I was looking for a bowling partner, I ordered my ad rod, shoot me, okay? Done. It's not for me, the gay thing, it's too expensive. Okay? Anyone ever try to give gay life a whirl and you find out it's like $80 just for the haircut alone? I'm going, I'd love to be gay, but not with this furniture. It's going to cost me $5,000 just to get in the door. Think it over carefully. It's quite an investment. That's all. I've nothing against it otherwise. You know, it's fine with me. Fine with me. Sounds arrogant. Carry on, fellas. Live a guilt-free life now that I don't have a problem with it. I think they can cancel the parade if I disapprove. All right, put away the balloons. Irwin's here. You know how he gets. Remember when Harper, when he got in 2 years ago as Prime Minister, he said he wanted to rescind the Same-Sex Marriage Act? What a weirdo. And his logic was, he says, because if gay couples are allowed to get married, that ruins marriage for male-female couples. How? Any clue? You're going to end it all? You know, Frank and Jerry get married and that's it? You're off to divorce court? Gay couple moves next door to us, and then what? My wife's on me. Oh, their yard is so nice. Their hedges are always trimmed. They grow their own herbs. They're always having dinner parties. Our life sucks. Damn you, gay neighbor. Gonna ruin my traditional marriage. Who cares? Here's one thing I do think is important. If any of you have a friend who everyone knows he's gay, but he's afraid to say anything about it because he thinks everyone's going to hate him and no one's going to want to be his friend, don't do that to someone you care about. Don't. It's just not right. Do what we did. We had a surprise coming out of the closet party. He's hiding behind the furniture. He comes in the door. We're like, "Bang! How did you know? How did you not know? Tired of walking on eggshells." All the best. Do it. Bath bees if you're thinking of a good gift. Oh man. So where are we at? And I'm living in Toronto now. I'm trying to get a little more involved in the community. I joined one of these youth gangs. You can't get out once you're in. I didn't know that. That's it. It is kind of serious. I saw this in the paper. There was this in Winnipeg, two 14-year-old kids. Are you from Winnipeg? Yeah. Well, this was in the free press. Two 14-year-old kids. They got their mother to take them on a drive-by shooting. How do you talk your mother into something like that? Even in Winnipeg, how would you do that? You know, the dumb part to me was it says in the paper, this is the kind of thing that happens in a single-parent home. Right, like normally it's the dad's job to take the kids on a drive-by. Here's this single mom trying to be mother and father to these kids. You kids finish your geography homework or I'm not taking you to that shoot-along. It's called a drive-by. Mom, you're going to make me look like a geek. Watch your mouth. You're not shooting anybody. Saw this in Toronto. This guy had gone in to rob a convenience store. The one witness who happened to see him was a portrait artist. Of all the shitty luck, going in to rob a store while Bateman's in there getting smokes, or Van Gogh getting ear salve. I don't know what it was, but makes it easy for the cops. Can you tell us what he looked like? Yes, he looked exactly like this. There's a little squirrel up in the tree there. You can take that home and frame it if you want. Some guy's rotting away in jail, meanwhile his wanted poster is fetching 50 grand on eBay. What if it being a novelist witnessing the crime? Can you describe the man who robbed the store? Well, he was an opaque figure against the moon. His eyes were mired in angry images, and there was this echo of desperate loneliness. Can you look anything like this drawing here? Yeah, that's bang on. I don't remember the squirrel, but yeah, that's 8 pages. That's your guy. How about Picasso as the police artist? Well, I know his nose was in the middle of his face. I just think it looks better behind this guitar, that's all. I'm going to say something about his soul. Great. It always comes to me how the witness to the crime has to identify the accused in the courtroom. The man who robbed the store, is he here in the courtroom? I'm pretty sure it's the guy in the orange jumpsuit shackled to the bailiff. Or it could have been his buddy in the suit too. I don't know, it was dark, it was high, it was crazy. Objection. I like the fact that they objected. Objection, he's trying to make my client look like he did it. I was talking about being back in Winnipeg. My sister still lives there. She's the only holdout. And she got married just a little while ago. And my new brother-in-law, do you have relatives where you just cannot communicate with them? He's a black belt in karate. That's the start. And that's his whole life. Like every conversation we have, he's got to twist it around to some other way that he could kill me with his thumb if he wanted to. You know? Like, why would I care? You walk in the front door of their house, he's like, okay, poke me in the eye with a stick. All right, I'm going to wait till you're sleeping on the couch, though. I've got my own way of doing this. It's like family gatherings, and he's strutting around the living room doing this kata that he calls it, with the breathing. Wow. We're like, what are you doing? Oh, he's going, oh, you must be prepared. at all times. Yeah, right, like Aunt Audrey's gonna fake for the tea and roundhouse you. He's 82 for crying out loud. You know, you gotta start him like, I was across the table from him, and he's got this scenario worked out in his head about how I need to learn to defend myself in case of a robbery. He's going, okay, all right, you're at a bus stop. Some guy grabs you by the collar. He's got a knife in your throat. He wants your wallet. What are you going to do? Hey, what are you going to do then? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I'm going to give him my wallet. He's got a knife. I got a wallet. That's fair. That's fine. I don't care. Handle it. I'm not going to practice 8 hours a day on the outside chance someone's going to try to rob me once. I'm not going to wear a helmet so I don't get hit by a meteorite either. I just, low probability. It's not going to rule my life. He's explaining the moves to me while I'm eating. Like somehow the 12 years of training that he's had, I can pick up by the time they bring the pudding up. Tells me as soon as the guy lunges the knife towards your heart, at the exact right second, give him the rising block so I can picture my hand and wrist flopping around on the sidewalk now. Now what? I've got to hope the guy's squeamish. Hey, here's a bloody stump for you, buddy. Take that grisly nightmare home with you. I'd love to give you my wallet, but you've taken care of that, haven't you? No, he says you smack the guy right in the temple with the back of your knuckles, all right. Then he tells me to spin through the air, hit it right behind the ear with the back of your heel. All right, and then fly away after? Or, I'm incapable of spinning through the air. It renders your advice useless. You might as well tell me to look around, see if he's got a paper cut and squeeze lemon juice on it. Tabasco sauce to the bottom lip real quick. Robber there. Oh, what the hell are you doing? Where do you train? Costco? Familiar with Costco? Great place to shop if you're planning on having the Russian army over for hoagies. Looking after the orphanage for the weekend. For me, it's weird, you know, it's just my wife and myself, you know, so it's like huge decisions. All right, now what flavor of soup are we going to eat for the next 3 years of our life? You don't want to be 8 months into the cream of broccoli going, I don't think we can go the distance on this. Let's just head to the food bank and be the hero. Get the wheelbarrow. I'm going to head to the food bank. I remember the first time we had on our list nutmeg. Go to the spice section, the smallest they got are these drums. It's like Marco Polo didn't bring that much nutmeg back from China. I gotta look at it. Let's forget it. Stupid stuff too, like bookshelves, wading pool. Who's got wading pool in their grocery list? Anybody? Especially there, just buy the giant margarine and wait till it's empty. It takes 5 years to empty it out. Finally, sitting in the backyard reminiscing about it. Wow. I still can't believe it wasn't butter, you know that? Great place to shop. For $143, I got enough raisins to last me the rest of my life. So I am sitting very pretty on the raisin front. I got more than I need. I can't unload them. I got friends over visiting. Here, take a bag of raisins with you. They're good for you. For your journey home. They're good. It says right on the package, high in copper. That's good. Eh? I would imagine that. Otherwise, it would say warning, high in copper. Hanging around at parties and gatherings, hoping some other topic of raisins is going to pop up so I can step up and be the big shot. Hey, I heard you mentioning raisins. I can hook you up. I'll get you the good stuff. I probably have some in the trunk if you. Thompson seedless, that's what you want. The dark brown ones, they're sun-dried. That's the only reason I say that. They're sun-dried. Don't go for the Sultana bullshit. You know, the Australian raisins, they're not even sun-dried. They dip them in potassium carbonate, and then they're dried on racks. You know, they've seen about as much sunlight as a truffle. That's why they're that greenish yellow. Wow. Nobody cares. It amazes me how common raisins are and how infrequently they come up in conversation. Once, that's all. There's this guy who was from California. You know how guys are in bars, they use anything they got. He's in the bar, he's talking to these girls, yeah, I'm from California, that's where raisins come from. Well, you a romantic schemer, you, but I'm sorry, buddy. Raisins were introduced to California by Spanish missionaries like 350 years ago, idiot. They didn't get to Spain until the Mediterranean trade opened up, what was that, 1700 BC? Raisins were invented in Egypt. 4200 BC, California. Get a grip, buddy. Typical dumb American, eh? I don't know if you know this, but beer was invented in Egypt in 3400 BC by a Canadian. I might be inaccurate there, but I was trying to get off the raisins, so I was desperate. It's a dried grape, leave it alone. You ever think of that? Dried grape is called a raisin, and a dried plum is called a prune, and dried apricot is called dried apricot. Is that the point where the language people just stepped in and said, all right, enough. We're not making up the new word. Every time you leave something out of the shelf for the day, forget it. It's ridiculous. From now on, you're just dried whatever, okay? The dictionary's big enough as it is. You ever look up the word dictionary in the dictionary? A little hand comes out and smacks you in the head. I don't even know how that would come up, looking up dictionary in the dictionary. Hand me that word book. I want to check something. I got the big Websters at home. I just it sounded sexual for some reason. I got a big dictionary, you know. I flip it open just every once in a while. Boom. I find a new word. The other day, potato, defined in Webster's dictionary as a farinaceous tuber. Do you figure if somebody doesn't know what a potato is, the farinaceous tuber is going to clear up the mystery for them? Aren't they going to be looking at that going, oh, look, more words. This book's stupid. The American Standard Dictionary defines potato as potato, noun, potato, you know, potato. What's a potato for? The words we all know, get rid of them and save some space, you know. Hey, like your neighbor's coming up. Yeah, the wife and I are thinking of getting a cat. Oh, really? Oh, yes, I hear they're lovely. My uncle has a domesticated feline, actually. I got an argument with a friend of mine over the meaning of the word semantics. No way of solving that. Oh, my brother-in-law, the karate guy, too tough for language. Do you know anyone like that? So he's saying things like, I'm not too good with words, huh? Just to watch him struggle, I go, I'm not quite sure what you mean. Well, you know, words, I'm not too good with them. In what sense? You know what, if language fails you, there's always interpretive dance, eh? Don't fail. Don't fret, my friend. When I went to Regina, I remember wanting to get a ginger ale after the show, and the sign on the machine in the hotel lobby said, mix, which is a verb. Shows you what they do with soft drinks in Regina. How do you talk to people like that? Hey, go get some mix. I don't have any spend. I'm a very competitive Scrabble player as well. I don't know if there's Scrabble players in the crowd, but I surveyed the room ahead of time and asked. My mother always wants to play me Scrabble, and then I don't know if she's going to anymore. The last time I was there, I had a chance on the triple, and it's not a common word, but I put the word scrota, and it's not common, but it is a word. It's actually the plural of scrotum. And if you look it up in Webster's dictionary, and we had to, scrota, noun, scrotum, plural. As if Webster himself is saying, that's all I need to say about that, huh? I don't think we require a picture here, do we? We can move on to scrounge. My mom's like, scrota? Scrota? Can you use that in a sentence? I don't know. Very rarely in a situation where the plural of scrotum comes up. I'm going to discuss with my mother. My last big pitch to CTV, comedy series, Siamese twins joined at the scrota. Very mix-ups that happen. You even lost somebody on that one. That's it. Making fun of scrota. I'm leaving. I have a scrota. I need to say something about it. Oh, well. Where were we? I never want to offend people, so I hope he wasn't walking out offended. And the last time I was in Vancouver, I used the expression, I remember this, I used the expression to kill two birds with one stone, and this lady at the front just goes, "Ah," like this, really loud, like, "What? Don't start talking about killing birds with a stone." Wow, I'm sorry. Apologize for my insensitive use of that expression. To all the bird lovers in the crowd, please, my humblest apology, and the stone throwers as well. Including you, or both? I don't know. Is there a Palestinian ornithologist all huffing on it? Money back? Very animal rights conscious in Vancouver, don't you find, man? You can't swing a dead cat without hitting an animal rights act. I think that's why all the chickens had the flu up in the lower mainland of BC, nowhere else in the country. It's because we have animal rights people going, "Oh no, we should have free range chickens. They should have rights. They should wander around, do what they want, maybe cross the road even, just for a joke." The meat's better? That doesn't seem too animal rights conscious to me. Let them wander around till he's tastier. Run free, my little friend, till you're succulent, huh? The way nature intended. Free range the chicken's better that way? Nothing tastier than a homeless chicken? Is that the logic? You're looking out your window tomorrow and you see a chicken clucking by, grab it, it'll be delicious. I know that's true of other animals as well, just because I grew up in Manitoba on the farm, and the same with rabbit. If the rabbit's cooped up, the meat's not as good as if the rabbit has a chance to hop around a little bit if you do eat rabbit. But actually, no. If you can get a hold of a rabbit that's been a children's pet and he's been loved and cuddled, tender, the meat just falls off the bone. You can taste the trust. Huh? You're going to think I hate animals, I think. No, I don't hate animals. I love animals. They're delicious. We're delicious. It works both ways. Food chain's not always in our favor. My wife and I this last summer, we're up in Jasper, and we saw a grizzly bear. Fortunately, we were in our car and driving by. He was just standing at the side of the road, but I wouldn't want to come across that thing in the middle of the night. But beautiful animal, though, when you're safe in your car, just driving by, standing in the ditch, just looking at us. I don't know what he was doing in the ditch. Collecting bottles, maybe? They lost all their funding under Ed Stelmack. Is that what happened? But it was exciting to see. If you ever see an animal out in the wild, I love it. Something about it just thrills my soul or something. But the weird thing was, about 10 minutes later, we get to the park gate, and there was a sign out that said to report any bears. And I squealed on this bear. I knocked out the bear. Is that what the kids say? I snitched. Yeah. The guy had a hat on with a kind of a badge thing and a deep voice. I was scared. I didn't know what to do. So I told, and he was on me right away. Was he heading towards town? I don't know. Was it going towards a picnic? Well, what did it weigh? Approximately, but I don't know. Was it a male or a female? We didn't get that close. I think he had something in his pocket. It's like a grappling hook. I would advise anyone with a convertible to keep their roof up for a few days. I'm getting cocky now, like I'm a bear expert all of a sudden. So he gives me this brochure. You're in bear country. How to avoid an encounter with a grizzly bear. And interesting. I thought I'd open it up and would say, "Stay in the car, idiot," something like that. But no, a lot more. It's against the law to feed a bear. I don't know if you knew that, but it's also against common sense. But still, if you lack that, there's a law that says don't do it. Be an interesting court case. You've been charged with feeding a grizzly bear. Place your right hand on the Bible. Well, you see, Your Honor. He thought this was part of the sandwich, actually. The one thing that made me laugh, it said when you're selecting a picnic site, try to avoid any area where there are fresh bear droppings. Well, I'll try. You know how tempting it is. go to a meadow full of bear droppings. What do you say we spread the blanket here? Crack open some sandwiches. Those make a dandy cup holder when they're soft. I bet. Throw that salmon in the tent. Hey, there's a cub. There's a cub. Take a picture of me giving him a headlock. He's gone into the blueberries. Honey, hit the video camera. Oh, we're going to remember this day. It says if you're approached by a bear, that's an interesting choice of words, now that I think of it. Approached. Like the bear's going to be, excuse me, but I live here. That's all my shit there. Approached implies a kind of a, an indirectness, right? That you wouldn't expect of a 1,200-pound carnivore with a mitt like a wrecking ball. About those leftover sandwiches. I have the cubs today, and I'll just wait over here. I don't know. I approached them about it. We'll see. Could you quit scampering for 1 minute? No wonder I get grumpy. If you're approached by a bear, you should play dead. This is where what kind of a complex the poor bear in the park's developing over this. Everyone I try to talk to dies. Is it my breath? Am I too big? Do I smell or something? Am I too aggressive? Maybe it's my approach. The dumb part to me was carry a cell phone in case you're out hiking, if you're lost, approached by a bear, you can call for help. You see that working? Hello, can I speak to the park ranger, please? You're in serious trouble here, buddy. So how long will he be, though? Well, it's just we're being approached. Now we're being rapidly approached. Stay calm. Where are you? I have no idea. We're lost. Obviously, we're in bear country. Huh? And more realistically, if you call to be something like, thank you for calling Parks Canada. You're being approached by a bear, press 1. Your life-threatening emergency is important to us. Will be answered in the order it was received. Due to an unusually high volume of bear attacks, your call will be answered in approximately 37 minutes. Please stay on the line. For faster service, please consult our website at www.savagepoly.ca. Hey, thank you very much. You guys have been a great crowd.
Irwin Barker, everybody. Let's hear it for my buddy Irwin Barker. Big hand.